What you're looking at, folks, here is a map that I have put together. The states in gray, and I've done this before, have these tentative faithless elector laws and or party pledges. The states that are in red or blue do not, and the electors are free to choose as they see fit. I was watching a Hamilton electors meeting with Chris Suprin, and he was asked about this, and he said that he did intend to vote for a Republican that wouldn't be Donald Trump. And it got me thinking, and I went through and was looking at the difference between the party pledges and the state laws. And some of these, the wording is very, very important. One of the states that I have alleged from the get-go I did not think was going to award its electoral votes to Donald Trump was Ohio. And when you read the Ohio law, it says a presidential elector elected at a general election or appointed pursuant to section 3505.39 of the revised code shall, when discharging the duties enjoined upon him by the Constitution or laws of the United States, cast his electoral vote for the nominees for president and vice president of the political party which certified him to the Secretary of State. So I really think that's just going to bind them to vote for a Republican, not for Mr. Trump specifically. And when we look back here at this map, when I did all of my map-based videos during the beginning of November, and I went through state by state, two of the ones that I talked about, Pennsylvania and Ohio. Pennsylvania doesn't have laws, and they have a Democratic governor. I really think there's going to be an issue in Pennsylvania with all of those electors voting for Donald Trump. With Ohio, I honestly don't think they will. I think based on that oath, if they would just vote for a Republican, which would be probably, in my humble opinion, John Kasich, they would be well within the state's party pledge. So that's 38, and I also looked down here in Florida and I read it, and now I'm not going to read this whole thing for you, but if you just go ahead and Google Elector Oath Florida or Republican Party Elector Oath Florida, you can read through this for yourself, and it basically says the same thing, that they just need to, they're only a faithless elector, quote unquote, if they vote for somebody other than a Republican. And I'm going to explain why that actually makes sense too, because the Electoral College is awarded based on parties, not on people. Because, for example, let's say that an elector from Ohio did, in fact, switch his vote to, say, John Kasich. Well, he would then award John Kasich one electoral vote, even though John Kasich never ran in the election. Now, the reason that's important is because when we look at this, if I was Gary Johnson or Dr. Jill Stein, I'd have a fundamental issue with that. Because when you break it down, if you take the number of votes somebody received and then divide that by the electoral votes they received, you get two very strikingly different numbers. For Republicans, only 205,544 Republicans have to vote to earn one electoral vote. But Democrats, you need to have 283,349 people vote to earn one electoral vote. So that right there shoots down the whole the people in the cities are so much more powerful than the people in the country argument. In fact, it's exactly the opposite. The Republicans are overrepresented because they need 75,000 less people to earn one electoral vote. Now, the fact that Gary Johnson could earn 4.482 million votes and not even be considered because he didn't earn any quote-unquote electoral votes, but somebody who wasn't even on the ballot like John Kasich could be awarded an electoral vote by an elector and then automatically shoot up to third place if for some reason that Donald Trump wouldn't receive the 270 votes and this would go to Congress, they only consider the top 3 electoral vote getters. And that would be Trump and Clinton, and then whoever would be awarded an electoral vote by an elector that decided to assign it to someone else. I'll be very honest with you. I don't see how that's not a basis for a lawsuit from Gary Johnson and Jill Stein. And it also goes to the point that I've been making this entire time, that electors are bound to parties, not to people. Because they give their electors the ability to choose. And if an elector can turn around and just assign an electoral vote to somebody who didn't even run, and then jump over people who actually did, that would be an issue. Like, for example, here, if we would use the Republican model of 205,000 electoral votes 205,000 votes popular to equal one electoral vote. Well, if Gary Johnson got 4.4 million, that would mean he would be entitled to about 22 electoral votes based on that number. And Jill Stein, on the Democratic side, 283,000 votes to equal one electoral vote would be about, let's see, what is that? Would be about 6 electoral votes. So I think that might be a basis for a lawsuit for those two. I'm not sure. There's people out here in my audience who are a lot more educated than I am about this. But that's the issue that I think we're going to run into, and that's why the faithless elector laws will not come into play. And once again, I'm going to cover this real quick. I looked up the demography here of the United States. Based on the votes awarded here, a grand total of 136 million people voted in this election, of about 245 or 250 million adults. So we're barely holding on to quorum. We really are. So this is why I really believe what's coming up is going to be a wholesale defection. And by wholesale, I mean 37 votes or more. Because Ohio, once again, they only have to vote for a Republican. And so their laws pretty much don't apply. In Pennsylvania, with there being no laws. In Texas, we've already seen two people, one resign, and one say that he's just going to vote for a Republican. And I think that's probably going to get him around his laws as well. Out in Colorado, we have the two people filing, and they'll be able to do the same thing. They'll be able to say that they can take a electoral vote away from Hillary Clinton and turn around and award it to, say, Bernie Sanders. Even though Bernie Sanders didn't run in the general election, he will be the recipient of the electoral votes by simply being a member of the Democratic Party. So if that is the case, and we've seen that happen in the past, we can then say for certainty that we elect parties, we don't elect people, because we give the electors the ability to take those electoral votes and give them to anyone they want in the party legally. So anyway, I know that's kind of a roundabout way to get there, but I think this puts to bed also the idea that Hillary Clinton might be the beneficiary of this. I'm not saying it's impossible, but if Donald Trump doesn't reach the 270, neither does she, and some of his votes get sent to John Kasich or some other candidate, that would vault them over Gary Johnson and Jill Stein, and then we would see those top 3 electoral vote getters be considered. And if it is somebody like Kasich or possibly Cruz, I think at that point you wouldn't see near the loyalty to Donald Trump if congressional Republicans thought they had another Republican option. I really do think the Republicans in the House would much rather see a Kasich-Pence administration than a Trump-Pence. Definitely. Or a Cruz-Pence administration, because to their mind, that's the same thing and actually a much better deal. They don't have the anchor of Trump hanging around their neck just to say that they have a Republican president. If they could get a better option, they will. So anyway, everyone have a good week. The crazies are out in force this morning. I've been already accused of being a Podesta Clinton operative with my videos. So hang on, folks. It's going to be a crazy one. But just be safe, keep your head on a swivel, and we'll keep making videos. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe.